An incredibly common relationship that we find across lots of parts of physics, so this could be from capacitors to radioactive decay, is something where we have this exponential decrease over time. So if we look at a certain number, and then we maybe look at the time it takes to fall to half of its original amount, and then we can look at the time for this to fall to half of that amount, what we find is something keeps halving and halving and halving over a constant time period. I've also got half a Lego brick here at the end. I know you're not really supposed to do that. So this is what we call an exponential decay. You might be more familiar with an exponential increase. This was often talked about quite a lot during the COVID pandemic from a few years ago, but what we're looking at here is that exponential decrease. Something is going to drop by the same proportion over that same time period. Now, if we were to plot that on a graph, it might make it easier to look at the numbers. So we halve, we halve, we halve, but over the same time period each time. And when we put a line of best fit through that data, we see this curve that we're probably quite familiar with from maybe work we did on radiation at GCSE. So we can actually write an equation that says y is equal to e to the minus x. And that's going to be our standard equation for looking at something with this exponential decay. Sometimes, of course, we're going to have maybe a constant in front of this. So we can say that y is equal to e to the minus kx. And what we can do to investigate this is we can take the log of this value. But we're not talking about log to the base 10, we're talking about the natural log. So we can say that the natural log of y is equal to the natural log of e to the minus kx, and that would be equal to minus kx. And of course here we're looking at something to the base e. E is sometimes called Euler's number or the Napier constant, and basically this is equal to 2.7, and then it's just this irrational number that just goes on and on and on. So we're just taking logs but with a different base. And so it's really important to remember that if we've got log, that means to the base 10, whereas if you've got ln, that's natural log to the base e. And of course, if you take the natural log of e to the kx, that's just equal to kx. Why is that so important? Well, it often comes up in exam questions about data and the relationship between different quantities. So in this exam question here, they've given a formula. In this case, this is to do with the intensity of light. So Ix is equal to I naught e to the minus mu x. So that's not one of your standard equations. But what we can do is we can look at this exponential decrease of light intensity with distance, and we can actually work out the values of these constants by taking this data, taking the natural log, and then plotting it on an axis. So what I mean by that is if we had this data here, this might be in the form of y is equal to e to the minus kx. So we've got an exponential decrease. If we were to take the natural log of both sides, we could say the natural log of y is equal to minus kx. And if we then plot the data where we take the natural log of y and plot that on the y-axis, and then we just have x plotted on the x-axis, we can then relate this to the equation y is equal to mx plus c. So here the gradient m is going to be equal to minus k. And that means if you work out the size of the gradient, we can use that then to find the constant that we've got up here. So this is an important skill that you're going to develop maybe with unknown situations like this exam question that I showed over here, where it might be that this is related to capacitor discharge or the activity of a radioactive sample. So that was just a very brief introduction to exponential decay and natural logs and why they're important. And this is something that you're going to be covering quite a lot in year 13 when you look at these more interesting topics as part of the A-level physics course. By the way, this is just one of many videos I've made covering all of the maths that you need to understand for A-level physics. It's part of the mini course, which includes many more topic videos, multiple worked examples, and also a guide that you can download. You can find all of this over at alevelphysicsonline.com.